Cars being refueled after qualifying, ready for MAC3. Let's hear from Volvo Polestar Cyan Racing to see how they're doing going into MAC3. Alex Legui is down there.
Alexander Majewski just watching what looked like an actually rather happy strategy chat there ahead of MAC3. So no major concerns. It looked like Nicky's car was struggling somewhat there in qualifying. And also we've got rather a lot of gaffer tape on the other cars as well.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think we qualify now to actually, from our supplier, to get ordered blue duct tape for the next race. No, it's a very unforgiving track. So basically, in a situation wherein you try to get as many points as you want, we know that this is not the best track for us on the paper, but we're trying to cause as much stir as possible for.
But Nicky didn't actually hit anything as far as we saw, so what was the problem?
I think in the first sector, I think was already, I say, the damage done for him in terms of getting a lap time together in the Q3. So I think he just regularly aborted the lap. And Ted, obviously, we saw also that he had some progress, which was positive, but still not enough at the end of the day to threaten the pole position spot.
Nicky, we heard, specifically had vibrations coming from the front.
Yeah, I think probably due to the mist that he encountered during the Sector 1 that caused some vibrations, but already the damage was already done time-wise. So I think we just focus now on trying to do a decent job in MAC3 and put some stress on the competitors. Thank you.
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it, to see during that interview the replay of Nicky Katzberg on his outlap, really throwing the car around from lock to lock, as if he felt immediately that there was something that he needed to just investigate. Some of the stunning scenery around Villarreal. Beautiful weather today for qualifying for MAC3, for free practice, for everything else, all the other track action. Tomorrow morning should be warm and dry. Tomorrow afternoon warm and maybe not dry. We shall have to wait and see. And yeah, they've got nice black gaffer tape that matches the black sills. However, as Alexander said, definitely going and getting a few rolls of bright blue might not be a bad idea. So tyres being fitted to the cars as we get ready for MAC3.
Back into Volvo's.
MAC3 about to commence, and Honda and Volvo again doing battle in this team time trial. Honda will go out first, and the team that leads the standings, which is Volvo at the moment in the Teams Championship, Volvo Polestar Cyan Racing, will lead, and the gap now is a 40-point margin that Volvo lead Honda. Honda did not score strongly at the Nürburgring. Volvo have had a very good record so far in this head-to-head time trialling. See all the bits and bobs drivers have to do up. Nicky Katzberg with the hands device that also has that lower belting system on it as well. So the deal here, for those of you who have not seen it, is that all three cars cover a 2-lap sprint from a standing start at the start line. And when they get to the finish line, start-finish line, 2 laps later, the time is taken from the moment the lights go green at the beginning of the sprint to the moment the third and final car in the trio crosses the line. So we'll have a warm-up lap, they'll come to the line up 3 abreast, and away they'll go. And hopefully they'll have worked out from each other, in theory, who's going to have the best start and will be in front, and who's going to be behind. It does look as though Ryo Michigami will be the man at the back of the pack. He tend to be the driver who sets the least competitive time in qualifying. So if you put your slowest driver at the front and the other two are queued up behind, then the spacing between the cars will be very close. However, you may not be going quite as quickly as you did ought to be. because then it'll be the time for the slowest car to do the 2 laps, plus the other 2 behind him, which is not ideal. Back from Thiago Monteiro, and again, as they clump over the curbs, Matt, you always hear that shunt, don't you?
You can hear the clunky gear changes. I mean, these racing gearboxes in here, the sequential gear, they're not meant to go slowly. You know, and you can, when the mechanics warm them up on the axle stands in the garages, they clunk and rattle, but they're built for punishment.
Yep. They're built to take abuse, and boy, do they. Not sure who Van Muller's on the phone to.
So, Honda's on pole for both the qualification race and the main race.
Yeah.
Will they get the MAC3 as well? Have a clean sweep. Would that be their first clean sweep of the year? I think it would, wouldn't it?
I would think, yeah. Yes, I would definitely think.
Now, they haven't got... Oh, right, we're going to use the same grid. We're not going to go straight into the...
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, we don't go into the island, do we?
Score so far in MAC3 this year is Volvo 3, Honda 1. Wow. Is that Gabriele Tarquini in the Honda again?
I think it was...
What a lightning getaway, Norby. Well, that's because he's 55 kilos lighter than anybody else. So thin. He's going to go home after the weekend, isn't he? His mum will be going, "Oh, have you been eating properly?"
He does look gaunt.
Yeah, he does.
He does look
yeah,
drawn.
But he just looks tired. It's exhausting, isn't it, when your body rebels against you?
I thought you were about to say when you've got a young child.
Well, that and that too, and driving and... What's going on with Thiago?
He was slow getting away. He's got a clutch problem or something.
They were under the front of his car, weren't they? Did we hear him on the radio at the end of qualifying?
No, that doesn't look...
That is a car that is not going fast. Well, his radio channel is open. He's got gears, he's got engine.
He's not going super slow, but...
Comparatively, yes, he is. Nice crisp engine note on the upshift.
Well, it's if he's got a problem, Martin, he's got to do 2 laps, hasn't he? It's not just getting round...
No, I know.
One tour.
Now, it's not screaming away as if he hasn't got 5th or 6th or something.
He's caught back up, but is that because the lead to our...
It can't be brakes. Something happened at the start, and I mean, I don't know, did the anti-lag not work? Did he just not get a good launch?
They're not. No, they're cruising, aren't they?
No, I'm not sure they are. Let's have a look. 2:05.66. No, that's not a cruising lap.
That's
Off a standing start.
That's cruising.
You think?
Yeah. They haven't gone through the first turn. He hasn't caught up, so the other 2 have backed off.
Yeah, but what's the point? It doesn't matter what the other two do, they may as well clear off. It's how slow the slowest is. We're hearing from the pit lane that they suspect a broken damper. And that's exactly what Nicky Katzberg had going into MAC3 at the Nürburgring, wasn't it? And one of the Volvos had a problem as well. One of the Hondas rather had a problem. What was it? Norby had a problem after his off?
Well, being selfish for his own Drivers' Championship, it's better it happens today.
Yeah, than tomorrow.
Otherwise.
Absolutely.
So maybe someone's shining on him after all. Got to look at it that way, haven't you?
Yes, always better to have a problem in qualifying or free practice or even morning warm-up when we used to have them than in the race itself, the races themselves.
Okay, they still get some points as long as they get 3 cars over the line, because they're second as long as they finish. And you never know, one Volvo might end in the wall.
Yep, no guarantee Volvo will make it
or
round.
break. You know, they've had their own dramas.
Yep. The problem is, Volvo following know that they don't have to push, so they're less likely to have dramas.
Katzberg couldn't even half push.
No.
In the top 5, could he?
No, and that's a very valid point. And again, like the Nürburgring, we've got both teams possibly going in with hobbled cars. I mean, Honda had no way at all. Around the Nordschleife, a broken damper, basically you might as well only have 3 wheels on your wagon. And Honda had no chance. The Volvos, it was overheating, was it? I can't remember now what it was. It was only the last race.
Yes,
come on, Matt, help me out here.
Checkered flag, so please come in.
See those 3 Volvos in line.
Before FIA Bay in the front of the lane. Remind to put the gear on.
Right, so 4:09.3 is the total time that Volvo has to match on a track where a flying lap is a 1:56. So let's say it's another 5 seconds added to that from the standing start.
They've got 15 seconds to play with.
A 1:56 and a 2:01. Yeah. So they can be comfortably 5 seconds a lap slower.
So if he had a broken damper, why was he slow pulling away from the line? Well, here
Traction,
we go.
I suppose.
Let's have a look at, well, anyway.
Wheel hop. Away go the Volvos. And this is how we'll start our races, going straight ahead rather than through the first chicane. And then after that, every other lap.
Is that Katzberg going slow now?
No, that's Nestor.
No, it's Katzberg at the back.
It is, good spot.
They don't look that quick, Martin.
Now, what we need to do is put in a joker lap in MAC3 as well, and possibly a mandatory pit stop.
I thought you were about to say go to sleep and then wake up at the end of MAC3.
Right. Well, despite the fact that Katzberg has obviously got an issue and they're looking quite slow, they're still half a second quicker.
Crikey.
I know.
Well, I mean, the positive thing for Volvo is they'll be in radio communication and they go, look, you're in front, just push a wee bit harder.
Yeah.
You know, they can literally monitor it to the end without having to push the cars too hard.
Yeah, problem is we don't really know what's happened at the front of Katzberg's car other than he pulled the plug on his MAC3 lap.
He's got something
Oh,
rattling.
it's broken splitter, isn't it?
Second ahead of Honda. Push as much as you can, please.
Something really doesn't sound right.
It's a broken splitter. You know, all that thumping the curb there, it's just, you know, they're bolted up from underneath into the bodywork usually, aren't they?
Need to wait a bit.
No, mate, you're on your own. They're off to the bar. Stroke pull. Stroke one of those. And the thing is chattering horribly as it comes by.
So 1.5 seconds up on the Honda.
Paul Ridgway encouraging Nicky Katzberg.
The Honda second lap was even more cruising than the first lap, so.
Well, again, each
Keep
team...
up the good work, Nicky. The gap is you're 2 seconds ahead of Honda. The boys are just coming back to you.
Each team has come into this like the Nürburgring with only 2 healthy cars. And the rule is that to score any points, all 3 cars must finish.
There's third car over the line as well, isn't it?
And in fact, if you're too far behind the other team's time, then you don't get counted
You're
anyway.
2.9 ahead of Honda.
We've had punctures, crashes. Was it Slovakia last year? Nicky had a puncture in MAC3 and went off in the Lada. Didn't finish. Halfway round. But now comes the scary stuff. The properly hang on, really, really quick stuff.
MAC3, which is the worst?
That's what he maybe had at the beginning of his
Gap still sitting at 2.9.
Q3 lap, Matt, that he was trying to figure out what it was, something not working, and his splitter was starting to work its way
It's
loose.
not, I mean, if we can hear that from this distance away,
3.4.
Yeah.
3.4 ahead of Honda.
He's going to have
that's
no
going to
fillings.
be horrible in the car.
Going to have no fillings in his teeth. He just needs to survive to the line. He can give it 7/10 and still get there in time. Leaders across the line, and the clock stops with Nicky Katzberg at 4:05.3, so 4 seconds ahead of
3.9
Honda.
ahead. Well done, boys.
Yeah.
Well done, well done.
So Honda have qualifying pace, but that broken damper meant that for Thiago Monteiro meant that they were a lot slower than they should have been. And Volvo's, again, like the Nordschleifer, didn't seem to lose as much time as we expected that they might do with that problem. So it is now a 4-1 win in MAC3 this season to Volvo over Honda.
Honda should pull some back tomorrow because they've obviously got Michigami on the front of race 1, and then they've got 2 strong cars there for race 2, so...
There you go, there's the result. Volvo finishing ahead of Honda by 4 seconds. Give or take 8 thousandths of a second. I'm not going to split the difference for that. We'll round that up, I think, significantly. And Volvo extend their championship advantage now to 40 points.
I can't wait till Argentina. We could try figure of 8 racing there.
Hang on a minute. In fact, that's honours even because they were out-qualified by Citroën, so it was 40 points coming in. It remains 40
By
points.
Honda.
Yeah, by Honda, yeah. That's the ones. Tomorrow's racing will be very entertaining. First ever time using the choker lap and potential of a little bit of ambient moisture, which we've never experienced here in Villarreal. That could put a completely different shine on things. We're very entertaining race day on Sunday.
And again, Martin, has Katzberg luck changed now? You know, he's had the problem today. They've still got MAC3 victory, so...
All questions to be answered tomorrow here in Villarreal.